This episode is brought to you by HASA. Liquid is clearly better. Liquid chlorine is the highest purity, works immediately, has no added cyanuric acid or calcium, and it will leave your pool safe, clean, and clear. And by the Bottom Feeder professional grade battery powered vacuum system. It sucks to clean pools, so cleaning pools sucks less. Get $100 off with code DVB100.
This episode is brought to you by Skimmer, the #1 pool service software in North America. With Skimmer, you can streamline your schedule, grow your revenue, and keep your customers coming back with 5-star service. Whether you're a one-person operation or an established team, Skimmer is your partner in success. Visit getskimmer.com/poolguy to try Skimmer for free for 30 days.
The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show.
And welcome to the Pool Guy Podcast Show. In this episode, I'm going to compare the WaterTech Precision V10 with the VacDaddy. Now, this is not a true product comparison because they are different categories, but it'll give you an idea of some of the differences and similarities between both. And again, it's not actually an apples for apples type comparison. Are you a pool service pro looking to take your business to the next level? Join the Pool Guy coaching program. Get expert advice, business tips, exclusive content, and get direct support. From me, I'm a 35-year veteran in the industry. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, I've got the tools to help you succeed. Learn more at swimmingpoollearning.com. There is some difference between the features, the use of these devices, and of course the price point. The Precision V10 is somewhere around $900. If you get it at the pool show, you can probably get a good discount on it. Sometimes your supplier has a discount on it as well. The VacDaddy is about $1,500, so I guess roughly, I wouldn't say twice the price, but yeah, it's definitely, if you get all the accessories and everything, it can be as much as twice the price of the Precision V10. But they are different machines, although they look very similar. And so when the VacDaddy first came out, this comparison was done a lot between both of these products. Now, WaterTech does have the patent on the pole connector on their device, and so VacDaddy could not actually have a direct pole connector to their device. So it has these kind of clamps that fit onto a pool pole, and they sell small pool poles, so you can kind of just keep that and carry it on there, and that kind of gets them past the little patent issue that WaterTech has on that part of the cleaner. So they attach differently to the pole. The WaterTech Precision V10 connects directly to your pool pole because it has a built-in pole adapter on there. The VacDaddy, you're going to need a separate small pool pole if you want to leave it attached to it, and then you just kind of twist the knobs on and attach it to there. As far as the use in the pool, and I'm starting with some, of course, comparisons that I think matter here. As far as the use in the pool, since the WaterTech cleaner has the pole adapter and it's a little bit designed differently and doesn't have quite as much power as the VacDaddy, you're going to find pushing it on the bottom of the pool with the manual vacuum head, and it does come with also a fixed vacuum head, like a brush vacuum head that's fixed. So it has both of those. But when you're pushing the Precision V10 across the pool, you're going to feel that it moves more smoothly across the pool, whereas the VacDaddy actually sits on the pole and is kind of in front or on top of the pole, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, and it's much more powerful, so it's heavier. In the water, it feels heavier, and it's just one of those things where once you use it for a few days, you'll have no problem using it. So they do feel differently as you're pushing them in the water across the pool. As far as power goes, the Precision V10 pulls about, or actually will suck and pump out about 30 gallons per minute or so, maybe a little bit more, but roughly around 30 gallons per minute. Whereas a VacDaddy will pump out about 60 gallons per minute. So it's about twice as powerful, and you really do feel the power difference. And another podcast that I was talking about vacuuming pools in, I likened the Precision V10 to about the power you get from vacuuming from the side port with an automatic cleaner attaching your manual vacuum head. For example, if you have like the Hayward Navigator and you go to use that, the cleaner hoses the vacuum a pool by using your manual vacuum head on the cleaner hoses, and not adjusting the vacuum side port suction at all, leaving it the way it is. You can easily vacuum a pool that way, and that's what I do when I use the cleaner hoses. I don't adjust the side port suction at all. I'll just leave it where it's at. And that's about the suction you get out of the Precision version 10. So you can see that it's actually pretty decent suction for this cleaner. The VacDaddy is kind of a beast, and that's why a lot of times they recommend using the vacuum head that they offer, which by the way doesn't have a swivel. So if you're using a Pentair Pro Vac with a swivel, it actually works better, the VacDaddy, with a non-swivel connector to the vacuum because of the kind of weight distribution on the pole. It moves a little bit too much if you have a swivel, so it's better if it's just a fixed vacuum and not one that swivels. And they recommend their vacuum, but not quite as much. The Pentair Pro Vac has those white things on the bottom that give it a good seal, and they don't recommend that because sometimes the VacDaddy suction is just too powerful and it'll get stuck to the bottom with the Pentair Pro Vac. The VacDaddy, of course, you have to plug in, so it has a power cord, and you plug that into an outlet. Any outlet will work with that. And if you need an extension cord, yes, you can use an extension cord, no problem. So the Precision version 10 is fully battery operated. It comes with a built-in lithium ion battery that's sealed in there, so no water is going to get into the battery compartment or motor. And that gives you a 2-hour runtime with the ability to recharge that in your truck as you're driving. So a nice feature is that you can charge the Precision 2.0 as you're driving, but 2 hours is a pretty decent runtime for a portable vacuum that you can use to spot vacuum or completely vacuum smaller pools on your route. Now, interesting, I think this is where the similarities, they look a lot alike in shape, and they both are bag type cleaners. So the WaterTech Precision 2.0 version 10 and the VacDaddy both use debris bags inside the throat of the cleaner, and they look very similar if you have them laying side by side without the head on. It looks like the same thing, but once you put the head on, it looks a bit different. But the bags fit in there. The VacDaddy, I believe the bags are larger capacity. I don't know exactly how much larger, 20%, 30%. I'm not sure if they've done a comparison, but they are larger than the WaterTech Precision, and it's going to give you, of course, more ability to capture debris in the VacDaddy than in the Precision version 10. And if you have the Precision version 2.0, it's very similar to that, except the version 10 is the sealed lithium-ion battery, where the other one you can interchange the batteries, which I think they discontinued, but you may have or see those old models still around. And the Pool Guy Podcast Show has teamed up with UPA to bring you affordable, reliable liability insurance starting at just $64 a month. Get up to $2 million in coverage, and the members of my coaching group get an even lower rate. Protect your business and your peace of mind. Sign up with UPA today by clicking the link in the podcast description. I think one thing that you should note, again, the similarity in body shape, but the power, the VacDaddy has more power. And, if you're following along here, the Precision is no cords and fully battery operated, where the VacDaddy does need to be plugged in. Sometimes that's a problem for some people because there's not a power plug nearby or a socket nearby the pool, and that makes it a little bit difficult sometimes. But of course, you can, again, like I mentioned, carry an extension cord, and that solves that problem. Let's talk a little bit about the weight. The Precision weighs about 11 pounds. The VacDaddy probably about 10 pounds as well. So they're about the same as far as the weight of the device. As far as, carrying it back there, VacDaddy does have a bag you can use to put everything in. The Precision 2.0, I was going to say, version 10 has a shoulder strap, so you can carry it back that way as well. So getting to the backyard is pretty easy, not a big deal. Carrying them back. I think you can also consider between these two, which one would you use more often on your pool route. Now, there is a big distinction between the VacDaddy and the WaterTech Precision version 10, and it's not how shallow they can vacuum in, because both of them pretty much vacuum to the same depth. You have to kind of tilt it because the impeller for the VacDaddy is at the very top, and the impeller for the Precision is almost at the very top, but a little bit further down. And I think it's pretty much a wash on how shallow you can vacuum. I think it's rated for about 12 inches of water if you kind of keep it submerged without the impeller coming out, and then it'll actually suck some air and won't work properly. So it's not the distinction of how shallow they can vacuum, but it is the difference in power as well as utility. Now the VacDaddy does have something that I always thought this is what they should have came out with first, and I say this all the time. It's like they market it like this at the beginning, they probably would have sold more units and it would have been a more distinct category. It would have separated them more from these comparisons between the Precision version 10 and the VacDaddy. I know VacDaddy likes to kind of classify themselves more like a vacuum system. In a way it is, because it has a lot of power, but in a way it's still a lot more or less like a manual vacuum with a hose attached to the skimmer, or the Precision version 10, even though it has less power. It's more likened to that, I think, than a vacuum system. But one thing it does have is a vacuum to waste adapter. So what's really cool is you just take off the diffuser on the back of the VacDaddy, put on the vacuum to waste adapter, and it's like a pass-through at this point. So you have the VacDaddy on your pole with the vacuum head on there. You plug it in, you turn it on with the vacuum to waste adapter on the back, and of course you're going to have to connect another pool hose to the back. And here's the critical thing. If you don't do that, it's just going to shoot water through and it's going to make a big mess. So you connect another pool hose to the back of it, and now you're vacuuming it and put the pool hose somewhere where the wastewater is going to go to. And now you're using the VacDaddy as a portable pump, basically, that's attached to your pool pole. So this definitely is the distinction between both of these, and that is the VacDaddy can be transformed very easily into a portable cleanup pump. It's a great feature, and a lot of pool guys love the fact that the VacDaddy can be used as a cleanup pump, and it's kind of like two tools in one. You have a portable vacuum with bags that will filter down. Let me see exactly what they filter down to on their site. I'm going to say 100 microns, but I think that I'm right there. And the WaterTech bags are very similar. With the sand silt bag, you get really good micron rating. They don't have it listed here, but I would say it's 100 or less microns with the Precision bags as well as the VacDaddy. They're pretty similar in vacuuming up leaf debris and dirt. And let me see what the rating is here. I'm going to their site right now. And it says their felt bag will filter down to 75 microns, which is like the Riptide 75 micron bag. So not bad, and it's definitely very versatile with the vacuum to waste adapter. Again, a lot of similarities, but quite a lot of differences as well. You're not going to find much difference in the overall aspect of the cleaner, but the features are definitely different. So which one would I recommend for you? It really depends on your pool route and what you're using these products for. The version 10, the Precision version 10, is really fast. You just connect it to your pool hose, turn it on, drop it into the water, and it'll vacuum a medium to small pool, and maybe spot vacuum if you were doing that as well, pretty rapidly. It'll save you a lot of time. You don't have to bring your pool hose out there and the vacuum head. And it does a pretty good job with finer dirt with the sand silt bag, I would say. So it's definitely great. The VacDaddy has more power, so if you're looking for something that is very similar to vacuuming from the skimmer, so the power of the VacDaddy is a lot like plugging in your manual hose and connecting it to the skimmer. I mentioned that the Precision version 10 is like vacuuming from the side port without adjusting it to increase the suction. You'll find that the VacDaddy, the power of 60 gallons per minute, is pretty powerful. And I think the vacuum to waste adapter is a big distinction as well. There's no way to kind of compare that with the Precision version 10. It does not have that ability. So if you're going for speed and convenience and you're doing a lot of spot vacuuming, the Precision version 10 definitely is for you. And if you're doing a lot more manual vacuuming, as if you wanted to use the VacDaddy, I should say, to be the replacement for manual vacuuming pools, I think you would want to go with the VacDaddy because you can move it faster in the pool and it operates much more like a manual vacuum attached to a pool hose connected to the skimmer than the Precision version 10 does. And I think also if you have a lot of pools you're going to need to clean up on your route, you want to do cleanups or green pool cleanups or just dirt cleanups, the vacuum the waste adapter is going to replace the need to have a portable pump on your truck because you already have that with the VacDaddy. Neither of these do really well on shallow water, so you can't vacuum the first step if the step area of the pool. And if you're vacuuming a spa, you got to kind of tilt them in a certain way to where you can vacuum without pulling out the back or the top of the cleaners, at least for the Precision version 10. Keep wanting to call it the 2.0. Version 10, you have to keep the impeller under the water. And the VacDaddy, the diffuser, is pretty powerful, so it may obscure some of your view in shallow water. But both, I think, would be something to look at. Having both of them is not a bad idea. If you can't choose between one or the other, the Precision version 10 is pretty affordable at $800 or so. And WaterTech always has deals at the pool shows where they'll give you a discount if you buy it there. It comes with a 1-year warranty, the Precision version 10 does. And, I've never really had a major problem with it. I think, with the way WaterTech makes it for commercial use, it's a pretty robust and durable vacuum that you shouldn't have any real issues with from, the ones that the prior version, the version 2.0 that I've been keep referencing on accident, wasn't completely water sealed, and definitely you would have problems with that, getting water in there and shorting it out. And the VacDaddy does come with a 1-year warranty. Now, the VacDaddy has a lot of accessories. If you go to their shop, there's a lot of things you can actually get for the VacDaddy. They have a shallow water adapter. So it allows you to vacuum in shallow water. Of course, they have their gunite vacuum head. They also have a remote on-off switch. Pretty handy to have that also. Their transformer, of course, has been boosted. I should have mentioned the transformer in the beginning. When you're carrying it back there, you also have a transformer that you need to hold onto and plug it in. So it's not just the VacDaddy itself. It's actually that plus the transformer. I'm so used to using it or carrying it back that I don't even think about it. But it does have a transformer, very similar to what you would use when you plug in a robotic pool cleaner. And that's basically just to modulate the voltage in the cleaner. And it's not a big deal. And I mentioned the 29-inch aluminum pole adapter from Skimmer. They used to have a Primate one, but for some reason, I guess it wasn't super popular. But I like the Primate. I believe Primate can still make you one, or they still have them in stock if you contact Primate Pool Tools to get the carbon fiber one. But definitely there's a lot of great products or accessories, I should say, that go with the VacDaddy, making it very versatile. And it has 3 different bags available as well. So you don't just have the one type of bag, you also have a bag for leaves, and then you have a standard bag. So each bag has a little bit of a different micron rating, just like the WaterTech has. The WaterTech one also comes with 3 different bags, one for leaves, one for sand and silt, and the extreme layer bag for more leaf and dirt debris. So real quick, the VacDaddy, the regular mesh bag filters down to 200 microns. Not a bad micron for a bag as well. And these micron ratings are very similar to the vacuum system. That's kind of why the comparison with vacuum systems is also on the table, but not necessarily a direct comparison. And then you have a bag that you're going to need to use when you're using the vacuum to waste. And this bag literally has holes in the side of it, and it's rated for 1800 microns, and that's to let the dirt through but trap the larger leaf debris so it doesn't clog up the impeller in the VacDaddy. Again, there's a lot of options for the VacDaddy. They also have bundles. You can get various accessories bundled together. And the Precision version 10 just comes with the vacuum and the gunite head, vacuum head, and also it comes with the vinyl vacuum head, the car charger, wall charger, shoulder strap. And it's one of those things where the use of it, what you want to use it for, will determine which one you lean towards when you're purchasing this kind of, battery operated or plug-in vacuum with the VacDaddy. I really think that if you have a route where you can use both of these, getting both of these is not a bad option. They really complement your vacuum system really well. The bottom feeder are Riptide, and it's a great accessory to use out there in a lot of situations. Looking for other podcasts, I put one on YouTube Monday through Friday. Also my website, swimmingpoollearning.com. If you go to swimmingpoollearning.com, you're going to see a link for the VacDaddy as well. You can check out the different bundles available. And if you wanted to listen to more podcasts, on the banner is a podcast icon with a drop-down menu with over 1,700 podcasts for you there as well. And if you're interested in the coaching program that I offer, you can learn more at poolguycoaching.com. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless. This episode is brought to you by HASA, providing products that deliver clean, healthy water for every aspect of everyday life. The bottom feeder battery-powered vacuum system, portable, powerful, and only weighs 12 pounds. And Skimmer. Get Skimmer, America's #1 pool service software. Podcast listeners can try Skimmer for free at getskimmer.com/poolguy.